Gotcha. Things get some issue going on.
Right on. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Warehouse Sports Cards on YouTube and our fourth episode of Cardcast.
Number four. Alex Gordon.
Alex Gordon.
It's the Alex Gordon podcast.
It's the Alex Gordon episode.
Trademarked.
This episode's not about Alex Gordon.
No.
It's about one of our favorite topics, which is buying cards on the cheap. As cheap as possible.
That's right.
Like dirt cheap.
Quarter boxes.
That's
50-cent
right.
boxes.
Nickels.
That's right.
Yeah. And more like, I think more importantly, it's about investing where other people aren't. Like specifically other people are not or like are against it. I think it works in certain situations. It doesn't work in every situation. No. Like there's a reason people aren't buying ET cards from 1986 right. or whatever. Yeah. Like, but a lot of situations, stuff's just drastically undervalued. So I want to go through some stories. I know you've got a lot of stories about that, and also like what I've seen recently. I mean, not really predictions. I used to do a lot of pick videos, and I used to do pick videos if I felt confident about it. And a lot of the picks that I made were people that were either really unpopular, like Alex Bregman and Bryce Harper. So like, if 90% of people are saying Bryce Harper's overrated and his cards are super cheap compared to people that have similar stats, then he's obviously not overrated in the card community.
Sure.
You know, he's underrated
yeah.
compared to his stats. You know, money don't lie.
Right.
Ball don't lie.
We hope.
Ball don't lie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's lots of situations where that comes up, but, you know, I'm all about it. Like, show me an off-season sport. I think basketball's like that right now, where people got so burnt last year that they just think it's toast.
Yeah.
Like last year's class was garbage. You know, everything's just printed into oblivion.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the case, but I think there's a lot of stuff like that right now, and I don't think the hobby's dead.
No, not at all. No, we've just had, I mean, just this weekend at Olathe, we had a great show. I mean, there was people everywhere. Sunday was packed. Saturday was really packed.
Yeah.
I mean, it may have gone down 4 shows in a row.
Yeah.
But it was still the fourth best show we've ever had there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not dropping like a rock. Definitely February was a peak.
Yeah.
But it's not dropping like a rock. I mean, it's, even if it goes back to pre-February, we're still way above where we've ever been. So
yeah, we
got plenty of room. I mean, nothing's dying off.
No.
So yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We can prospect for a year or two.
I think so. As long as it's cheap enough.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
I like those pick videos. I think some of those guys can do information. If you take your time and do information and go through, and the only thing that I don't like about them is you're putting all your eggs in one basket kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you can pick 2, 3, 4 guys, why not just pick the whole class?
And if you're yeah, exactly. And if you're gonna make a pick, or the whole market,
yeah, like
the basketball market is cheaper than it's been in a year, over a year. But I would say if you're gonna make a pick video, then own up to it. Like, take ownership of it. And that's not what I see. Yeah. Like, I don't see people giving reasons. I see people showing graphs and saying, well, this is the trend of the graph, which is complete garbage.
Yeah.
Like, you cut that graph in half, and if it goes like this, then suddenly the trend's not up.
Yeah.
It's down.
Yeah.
And that's just...
Graphs are a history lesson,
yeah.
Yeah, not a predictor of the future, for sure.
That's just it. Yeah. You show me a graph, I can tell you what the card's done.
And if there's somebody out there saying these are the top 5 hottest cards...
Yeah.
There's a ton of those out there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean go buy those cards.
Yeah.
They don't say that.
That's the exact opposite.
Right. Those are the cards you want to be selling.
Those are the cards. If they're hot.
If they're the hottest 5 cards, you should be selling those cards.
You should be selling those cards.
I mean, my buddy Timmy came in today and was pulling out Salvador Perez Chrome cards that I know that me and him have $2-3 in at the most, and now they're going for $40. Like, I can't be buying Salvi Chrome cards for $40.
$40?
$40.
His Chrome rookies?
2010, the first Bowmans.
Yeah. The first Bowmans.
Bowman Chromes. First Bowman Chromes. I mean,
$40.
Timmy said one went for $55.
Wow.
And that's when why would you be buying that card right now?
You wouldn't.
But it's number one on the list of top 5 cards, top 5 hardest cards.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. I mean, but it's terrible. If you're saying, and that's what I mean by
it's absence of advice.
That's what I mean by own up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you see a lot of people, and I'm not specifically pointing out anyone in general.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just pointing out the YouTube card space. It's
Sure.
not one person, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean by own up to it. If you're saying you should go out and buy these cards, then say go out and buy these cards. Don't dance around it and say these cards are super hot.
Yeah.
These are the most popular players in cards right now. That implies that people
Sure.
should go buy them without you having the liability of saying go and buy them, right? So
there's no explanation given. If they said these are the top 5 hottest cards, look in your boxes and sell them right now.
Yeah.
That's what they leave out the second half. They don't. There's no real information given. There's no real advice given. They're just trying to get views.
Yeah.
Because those things get views.
They get views.
Yeah.
And I think, and if you want to say there is utility in watching those and saying, okay, well, I'm going to sell them then.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go find them and sell them.
There may be something on there you don't know that you learn.
Yeah.
You just have to know how to take that information and use it, which is where they leave you hanging.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. And I think if you're using that information to sell those hot cards right now, then you're reading into something that's not being implied. That's not being, I don't think that, in my opinion, I mean, I watch some, I don't watch a lot of them because I don't like them,
Mm-hmm.
but, you know, I do watch them, and what's being implied is that this is what's popular, which is what people, you know, should be. If you want to be cool, if you want to be the cool card kid,
right.
then you should be buying.
Well, we have a lot of time. We have 14 hours a day to fill here, so we got to watch a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
While we're working.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why we watch some of those, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, you can't just watch what you like.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
You got to watch some stuff maybe you don't like.
Yeah.
Some stuff maybe, you know, just to get a chuckle.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, I mean, if you take, like, I was buying those Joey Bart cards on Star Stock last week for 25 cents a piece. And Joey Bart's hitting over 300 in the minors.
20 plus homers.
Yeah. I bought 60 of them for $15.
Yeah.
If Joey Bart crashes, I'm out $15. Yeah. You know?
Not really, because they're always going to be worth a quarter.
You would think so.
I mean, I don't know who's going to buy them, but...
Yeah. Yeah, right. Joey Bart might.
Joey Bart, yeah, or his mom.
If he completely crashes, right. You know, but that's just 2021 baseball. You know, the popular thing is to say, oh, they printed it into oblivion, which they probably did.
Yeah. And
that these guys aren't going to be superstars, which I don't think anyone knows that for sure.
Yeah. No, there's some superstars in there.
Yeah.
Joe Adell. Joe Adell's going to be a good player.
Yeah, he is a good player.
Yeah. Dylan Carlson's going to be a good player. There's some players for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, it's not like 2021 came out in February, Series 1, and it's August, so everybody's done with that stuff because it's so old. You know, it's so 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you know, eventually, like, go out and try to find bulk Bichette rookies cheap.
Yeah.
Like, the people that have them in bulk are keeping them for a while.
Yeah.
You know, Luis Robert, same thing. That guy's crushing. He's hitting 340 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go out and buy bulk cheap of those guys. I mean, they're not as plentiful as you can go find 2021 for a quarter.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that with 2020 because the people that have it for a reason.
Yeah.
Either whatever reason. It's in their sets or they're holding them or, you know, there's not just those bulk laying around like they are now. Sometimes that stuff just sitting in somebody's desk. They don't even want to deal with it. You know, that's 6 months ago.
Yeah.
That's when you can find that stuff, when it's still out there.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do that with Guerrero rookies or Tatis rookies or even Eloy Jimenez rookies.
Everybody's dug that stuff out, and been put up. And,
especially if they got 20 or 30 of them, you know, or, you know, you want to get a 100 count lot of some of those guys. You know, they're a quarter.
For a quarter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if they go up, you know, if you buy the 10 top ones, if you could buy them all for a quarter piece, but if you buy the 10 top ones and one of them ends up selling for $5 a piece, then you've doubled your money on all of them.
Yeah. And that's one.
And that's just one without being able to sell the other 9 for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've been doing a long time. Almost my entire career is buying bulk of Bowman Chrome, and just keep, like, I would buy bulk and take out the 5 best selling cards out of the stuff I bought and pay for all of it.
Yeah.
And then I've got 3,000 count boxes full of chrome cards that just marinate.
Yeah, marinate. Did you see my description? I put that in the description.
Did you?
Yeah.
What these marinate?
We like to buy stuff and let it marinate. So I put that in the description and marinate. Yeah, because you can. Now, certain stuff you can't do that with. I think there's certain stuff.
No, it's got to be. You don't want to put it. I mean, for me personally, I don't want to put anything that has a chance to just bottom out completely. Like, this was almost off a necessity. Like, that was a way for me to make money. That was for me a way to put money in the bank without having any money.
Your retirement plan.
Yeah, basically. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, and you go through. I mean, you can go through a box every 6 months and pick out a bunch of cards. And there's so many ways to keep stuff organized now.
Yeah.
You know, if Patrick Wisdom hits 3 homers, or the White Sox catcher that hit his first 3. I mean, if you have those organized, ready to go, you can make some real money that night.
Yeah.
I mean, we sold 3 Heritage for $15 a piece, and now they're back to a quarter.
Yeah.
You know, but those people wanted them that night. So there's chances to do that for 20 years, ever since eBay started. And it's even better now.
Bowman's an awesome product for that.
Very. Yeah.
Bowman's an awesome product for that. I would go out on a limb to say UFC stuff is good for that.
Really?
I think so. Like, I see a lot of comparisons in it. I don't know that the market for UFC cards is stable, but, you know, you've got people, their rookie cards are this year, you know, they might be world. Look at Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier didn't have a big fight for a long time. You know, he was on this documentary back. I can remember watching a documentary about Dustin Poirier like 10 years ago.
Really?
He wasn't in a big fight for a long time. But
so they got to beat McGregor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, those guys, their rookie cards comes out. Most of them are not flying out of the gate. But in that sport, at least the way cards matter right now in that sport, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter when you start winning the world championship. What matters is that you're a world champion. And if you can defend that belt, each time you defend that belt, or the more like name recognition you have, every time they fight, it goes up.
Yeah. The 2 guys in the fight, you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I mean, that's what I noticed just with the small amount of stuff that I got.
Yeah.
As soon as they fight, even if they don't go up, their cards start flying off the shelves.
They're selling.
Yeah.
You know, Conor McGregor's card 2 weeks before the fight was worth $5, and then the day of the fight it's worth $20 or something like that. You know, and he loses. It's like,
I don't know much about it. I'm learning a different sport now, though.
Yeah, we're working on soccer right now.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, it is. But soccer's another one. Like, it's interesting. I think part of what we're seeing, because soccer is bottomed out, really, it seems like Messi stuff's done well. We're seeing trends in, like, the big guys, the Ronaldos, the Messis, the Mbappe, the Haaland, like, their big cards are always going to generate dollar bills. But overall, like, the soccer card market, I feel like, is really low, because we had, you know, UEFA Euro Championship, and we had kind of an off season. Now we're going into, I guess, EPL.
Yeah.
And then the qualifiers for the World Cup are going on now. And they go through, I think, next June, and then we have
the actual
the
World Cup. Yeah.
And so
it seems weird to me that they put out Topps Chrome, Merlin, and finest, like really, really fast. Like I don't know what else they're gonna come out with. Like I haven't even looked at it. Like are we done until next year now? Or
I doubt it.
I mean, there's got to be more products coming.
I would think so, and that's another thing is like last year, how many soccer products do we have?
Like 3, maybe.
Yeah.
And we've already had 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Not counting Panini.
Yeah, we might have 5 times more soccer products this year than what we had last year.
Yeah.
I mean, if you count Sapphire and you count all that stuff, like we might have had 5 last year, but we might have 20 this year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Immaculate and like all that higher end stuff, and with Topps and Panini making cards,
fighting over those rookies.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing I'm sure there's gonna be an issue. People were confused about baseball back in the day. Like I'm gonna be confused the same when the guy's got a EP or a Bundesliga rookie, and then he's got a Champions rookie, and then they put rookie on the Euro, the Euro tournament, and then it's his World Cup rookie card. Or,
he's got a transfer
update card.
Transfer ticket card or whatever.
It's going to be something to learn. Spend some time with it, though. It'll be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think the soccer market's the soccer market, there's no other way to put it. It's exploitable. Because a lot of people like it. They like collecting it. They like investing in it. But even if they watch the games, they don't really follow it closely. Not here in America, and I think a lot of the sales are here in America. And if you're in America, you're going off of American eBay comps for the most part.
Yeah.
So, I think, I don't know how else to put it, but like it's exploitable in that if someone's popular, it doesn't matter if they're good. Sometimes it doesn't even matter if they have a good or bad game.
Yeah. There's going to be a chance to, if you do your own work and you do, if you get information, you do your homework and you go to a show, you're going to find somebody basically like myself that knows there's money in soccer and has got some cards but doesn't know anything about it.
I've already done it.
Yeah. I mean, but that window is going to be much bigger there than it is like baseball or like everybody knows football.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Trevor Lawrence was the first pick. Like, no, like 99 out of 100 people can't name the last transfer, in soccer. Like if you can do the homework, there's going to be lots of opportunities for cards to purchase cards that are higher than they should be or higher than they are.
I don't have a lot of knowledge about the soccer market. I have more than I thought I would ever have.
Yeah.
But I still it keeps me going. And I've done that. Like we watch a show called Firehand Cards. We watch a breaker called Firehand Cards. It's Chad and Ryan, a friend of yours. And Ryan really keeps up with soccer, and I watch his soccer breaks, and so he's pulling out guys like Dominic Zoboslai. Well, I had never heard of Dominic Zoboslai, but then I go to a show and I find his Topps Chrome UEFA speckle refractor for $3, and I put it up and I sell it for $25 on eBay. Yeah. The interesting thing Kyle told me today is that his mosaic has an RC logo on it, but his Topps Chrome UEFA doesn't.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a rookie card, but it doesn't have the RC logo.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I just knew Ryan kept pulling out Dominic Zoboslai out of his breaks. So, thanks, Ryan.
It pays to watch YouTube.
Yeah, for
Shameless
sure.
plug.
I learned a lot. I didn't give breaks enough credit when it comes to the market, and especially in what we do here, in having a broad range of knowledge, especially about modern cards, ultra modern cards, what's coming out for right now. But watching their channel, I know what I need to know about that product. If I watch a couple hours of them breaking National Treasures or whatever it is, whatever product it is, I know they're knowledgeable enough. I mean, Chad's been doing this since 2008?
08's when he started breaking, yeah. The great thing about their channel is whatever's breaking is what's popular.
Yeah.
Like you can tell what's popular by how many breaks that night they have of it, because that's what's going to fill. They don't push anything. They're not trying to manipulate anything. They buy everything and they let the market fill it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times they'll do, mixers and stuff like that to get rid of a few straggler boxes they got, but everything else is if you watch their channel for an hour, you watch some of the quick breaks, you're gonna know exactly what's hot, because that's what's filling. That's what came out this week. That's where I get a lot of that information from.
And they don't wait around either. Like if it's not selling, they'll do a numbers filler, they'll do a mega filler. Like they move product.
It's usually for those. It's what that usually is for the big teams. So like nobody's gonna come in and pay $3,000 for the Jaguars and in a collegiate flawless break, but that's what they're worth.
Yeah. So
they have to do a filler for that stuff. But everything, a lot of times you have to buy it at 8 a.m. to get in it for the 10 o'clock show.
Yeah.
So that's where I get off from. I trust those guys. That's where we get some product from. Stuff they don't want to break, like Allen and Ginter and stuff like that. Stuff that's hard to break.
Mm-hmm.
I get some product from them. So they're, but that any of those channels that fill stuff like that, you can get some tons of information without actually having to buy in the break.
Yeah, if you want to keep up on say who's hot out of that product, what the parallels are, what
the chat's going to tell you immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you don't have to search 2021 Bundesliga finest, and you could watch one break, and he's going to point out which ones they hit. Yeah. So it's a good idea,
and it's good to see what's coming out of the product. Like you watch a Merlin break, and you see like 6 or 8 numbered cards coming out of Merlin Soccer.
Yeah,
like, all right, like that's going to be a low print run product, and it's going to be a fun break. And it doesn't hurt that there's like 10 great rookies in that product. So yeah, it's got a lot of value,
Mm-hmm.
So off season pickups, I guess you'd say. I feel like with where basketball's at, like it's still off season pickups. Like I never thought that less than 2 months from basketball season starting, that we would still see kind of a flat market. And I'm starting to see some stuff trend up. And what really got me excited about this basketball season, there's a couple things. So at the end of last season, when we just saw things going downhill, I got excited because there's a lot of cards that I wanted that I was not willing to buy at the prices that they were selling for. So it's like, awesome. Like now I can buy some of these cards of these players. I can buy some bigger cards of players that I believe in, or more cards of these players that I like, that I believe in, at reasonable prices that I feel like are reasonable and aren't bubble prices. And I think there's a lot of people out there that feel that way. I'm just guessing that there's a lot of people. Basketball's a fickle market, but it's also like a very it's also a very dynamic market. Like people that are basketball fans and are into basketball cards, like sometimes they don't care. Like with they'll pay $2,000 for a Luka if there's 15,000 of them out there. You know,
they're fans of the moment, I think, more than any other sport. Because football maybe, but that's probably because there's only 16 games. Somebody hits a game-winning shot, maybe has a good week and then hits a game-winning, like Dame Lillard or something like that. Like it's over. Good luck trying to keep his stuff around.
That's what I saw in the G League and the Summer League. That's what gave me more confidence about it. Is I saw a spike in the Summer League, and not like last year when Bull cards took off, but that was a practice, I think.
Yeah, right.
But it says people are ready for this season. And there's room left in this market, and so I've seen some stuff start trending upwards, but yeah, I
kind of use it as a buying tool, because buying when it's down, it's the opposite of what everybody else is doing, but it can be scary still. Yeah, you don't know if that's the bottom, right? So you can use that as a buying tool. I've probably flipped more PSA 9 Prism Lucas in the past 3 months than I had in the past year, because people are willing to let them go. Yeah, and I can say, hey, this card 2 months ago was $500, now it's $300. I don't know what the floor is, and I don't. Yeah, I can't buy it at $250 like I would have before if it was going up. People that were paying 80% on stuff were paying 80% because they assumed it was still going up. Yeah, when it's going down, you can't pay 80% anymore.
No.
So I can buy them. People are willing to let them go at 200 or 220.
Yeah.
And I can flip them immediately for 300 when they're 325 on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done that 4 or 5 times with that card, where before nobody wanted to let it go because it was going up.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much more opportunity when stuff's going down.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, those cards, they're liquid again now because there's so many of them out there.
Yeah, I really want to go into a show and find somebody with modern basketball and see what they take for, for
some of that stuff that was gold, a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people that have had it a year and it's time to let it go,
Yeah.
So.
And that's the people holding stuff. I'm really surprised at how much Kobe stuff has hit the market.
Yeah.
It's constantly hitting the market. Like, you go online, like, Kobe stuff has gone down a lot, but it's like Luka. Like, there is tons of there's tons of sales.
Yeah.
They might be sales that are trending downward.
Yeah.
But that's what amazes me is, like, it's almost like people are pessimistic and optimistic at the same time. And so when it's trending downward, there's constantly people thinking this is the bottom, and then they become the guys selling later on. Maybe. I mean, I'm just seeing, like, a ton of listings, but also a ton of sales, a ton of completed sales.
I think that just shows how many people are out there buying and selling right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's 2 different camps on every single card, especially Kobe rookies, like, there's hardly a Kobe rookie that's a rare card, like a base Kobe rookie, compared to what we're dealing with now. I mean, Kobe rookies are not rare. I mean, they were $5 for a long time everywhere.
They're getting back down there.
Are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you're like...
Collector's Choice and Hoops and...
Yeah, even like that Skybox card's a $20 card.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not graded and if it's not in really good shape, that's a $20 card. I seen a Fleer Rewind Kobe go for like $15. That was, it was in good shape. It's the stuff's gotten pretty cheap.
Yeah.
It's gotten cheaper than I think it should have got, but I probably would have said that 2 months. Well, I did say that 2 months ago because I bought one 2 months ago.
I think
I lost $100 on it.
The same. You'll remember that one forever. Yeah.
It was a vanity buy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I think it's that mark. Like I was saying, maybe a few months ago. Like, there's going to be a time when the same card is going up and going down at the same time.
Yeah.
Based on the condition of the card.
Yeah.
So, like, the people want a PSA 10.
Yeah.
Those people are still out there blowing money on cards that should, there's like 3,000 Jordan PSA 10s, and I don't know how many Kobe PSA 10 Topps rookies that at one time were at $10,000. Like, but at the same time, a PSA 5 or PSA 6 or PSA 7 quality that's not graded is going down. At the same time, the PSA 10s are going up.
Yeah.
So it's just a separation of the people that have money. It's just a separation of the market.
And I used to buy quite a bit on eBay looking for gradable cards. And I mean, I didn't do this. I probably would have had I had more money at the time and more time at the time. But I know a lot of people, like, they look for good cards, but they buy them, they get them in. If they don't think they're gradable, they just put them right back up on eBay.
Yeah.
They'll take their small loss or whatever, and then try to get that 9 or 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's part. I bet that's part of what you're seeing with like Luka, Kobe, and like these bigger names with where the PSA 10s are still commanding a premium or are still worth sending in at $300 a card.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird market right now. It could be that the lower level stuff that's not graded is going down because they can't grade it.
Yeah.
Ungraded raw cards are dropping because they can't grade them.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of that. I mean, if you could buy a card for $40 and grade it for $50 and it was worth $300, but now if you buy it for $40 and have to hold it till PSA decides they want to do business again, who knows when that's going to be?
Yeah.
The speculation's gone on the value of this card. Like, any added value, that's what the card's valued at.
Yeah.
You know, so if it's a $40 card, you have to price it at $35 to try to sell it at a show or at a shop or something like that. Where before you could price it at $40, and if it was really good shape, you might get $50 for it.
Yeah.
Because they would put $50 and it may be $300.
Yeah.
Well, right now it's $40 and it may be $35, and you just see that it's been whatever 6 months, 4 months of PSA not being open that has kind of just lowered the level of those cards.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be it too.
Yeah.
I see that. That's definitely got some effect on it. I don't know how much.
The craziest thing I've ever seen, maybe not the craziest thing I've ever seen, but, and I've seen this in the football card market more than anything, is these cards that are around that mark, that $250, $350, $450 mark, where if they 10, they're like a $1,500 card or $1,000 card.
Mm-hmm.
And the clean raw cards are going more than a PSA 9. Going for more than a PSA 9.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, not just, like, your odds of getting a 10 now are so low, especially from a raw card off eBay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't even look at it or anything. So, I mean, maybe they're doing the same thing where they're buying everyone and just looking for the ones they can send in.
I think those days are kind of gone. I mean, I have people come in weekly that bring me a 91 Hoops Jordan and say, hey, I saw this card's $800 on eBay.
Yeah.
Like, yes, that's the card that's $800. But let me explain, you know, yours isn't a PSA 10 because it's bent in half, you know, or there's a corner missing, or like that's that card. But let me explain why that one's $800 and this one's $3.
Yeah.
Like, I think people that have been in it, we're not having this influx every day of hundreds and hundreds of people come in. Like, it's still growing.
Yeah.
But those people that have been in it 6 months have learned.
Yeah.
Just because a PSA 10 is worth this much doesn't make my card worth half as much or whatever.
The thing that bothers me the most about a raw card going for more than a PSA 9 is what that tells me is that people don't care about that card. They care about the money-making potential if that card gets a 10. They care more about that. Like, if there were more people out there that cared about the card, the PSA 9s would be going for more.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, they're still up there. I mean, in the football market, you'll see like 2x spreads, like where it's a PSA 9 is $250 and the PSA 10 is $500 or $600, which is that's good.
Been kind of normal.
But in baseball and basketball, it's not that way normally. You know, it's 3 times or more. So that's a good thing. But, you know, it's speculation. If somebody's willing to pay more for a raw card that has a chance at a 10 than for a PSA 9, which there's very little difference between a PSA 9 and a PSA 10. Yeah,
it's microscopic, literally.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
It's 10 times magnified difference is the only way you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get those questions on eBay and you know somewhere on their computer they have a stock question like, have you looked at the corners, or, you know, can I please have detailed pictures of the front and the back? And the paragraph's that long on your eBay question. And I, you know, in my descriptions, I say this card's near mint to mint unless stated otherwise.
Yeah.
Which means it's an 8.
Yeah.
If you want it to be a 9 or a 10, then buy a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you want your cards to be nice, and if there was anything wrong with it, you just, you know, you display that. But I mean, for the most part, if it's a card that should be graded, there's a reason it hasn't been yet. You know, for the most part,
it's a card. You know, it's like your guess is as good as mine. I can tell you, but I can tell you if it's in good shape or whatever. But like, a lot of people don't understand. A near mint's a 7. Like, that's, you know, I'll post really good pictures. You can look at those really good pictures. But if you try to tell me this card is not near mint because it's not perfect, then you have no idea what you're talking about. But that's eBay. Yeah, you know.
That's the grading scale was made for vintage cards.
Yeah,
like near mint used to be. Like, cards were graded at near mint. Like, the prices you see in the Beckett are for near mint cards.
Yeah. Like,
those are for 7s and, you know, for 7 quality for near mint cards because nobody expected the card to be gem mint or pristine.
Yeah.
Like, whoever thought that was even a thing, you know?
It wasn't.
No, not for a long time. I mean, they made those words up, you know? So, at least for the card industry. Like, if you call a coin very good, it's a lot different than if you call a baseball card very good, you know?
Is it?
Yeah, it's a big difference. Like, you look at that card and go, that's very good. Like, oops, there's a 3, you know? Like, oh, that's pretty good. You know, that's near mint to mint.
Yeah.
You know, that means it's an 8, you
Yeah.
know? So it's a different, like, we invented those terms for the stuff back in the 80s. I mean, not we as in I, but the card industry invented those in the 80s for the cards in the 50s and 60s.
There was like 3 grades, right? There was like near mint, and then there was like excellent and very good.
VG,
yeah. And that was
I mean, because you definitely weren't looking at them under a microscope.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that were using the magnifying glasses just didn't bring the reading glasses with them that week. There was none of this 4,000K scan stuff going on, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's dinosauric, but my gosh, we're literally looking for microscopic differences in a trading card.
And then allowing someone else's judgment to decide if
someone that PSA just hired last month, probably.
Yeah, for $15-$20 an hour.
Yeah, for the most percent. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. And I mean, there's money there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating the player or the game, you know?
We're playing it every day.
Yes, I am not hating the player or the game. But, you know, it's when you've been through this 30-year-long history of trading cards, it's not that if there's money there, go get it.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time, it's laughable because, like, I mean,
anybody from the outside looking in,
yeah,
is like, what in the world are you guys doing?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I'm on the inside looking in, and I'm like, what in the world are you guys doing?
Yeah,
but I understand it. You know? I understand it.
I understand it. I can understand it. I can even agree with it, and I can still laugh at it.
Yeah,
like, I'm like that about a lot of stuff. Like, this is stupid, but I'm still gonna do it because it's gonna make me money.
Right.
Like,
there's bills to pay.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I've got bills to pay, and even if, you know, a person's just, you know, whatever, trying to build their collection, they're a hobbyist. Like, you know, the guys that are out there, you know, building sets purely as a hobby are awesome.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot of them left.
No, not as many as there was.
Not as many as there was. We get tons of guys that come in here that are purely collectors.
They're fun to talk to. They're fun to help out. I mean, that's why I keep Heritage and Allen and Ginter, and I got base Topps card from 2014. What other reason am I keeping those? You know, like, those are just for people that building those guys, and it's hard to do. I mean, nobody else has that stuff right now. I mean, nobody's kept that stuff.
It's a huge benefit.
Like, I mean, it's just but most of the time, if it's like 10 cards, I'll just give them to them if it's going to finish their set.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't keep those for, you know, but I don't get those every day. You know, it's like maybe a couple times a week, somebody's trying to complete a set.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even trying to complete, like, I don't have to keep Series 1 Topps around anymore if I don't want to. I don't have to keep Donruss around or Mosaic or Prism Football. Like, nobody's doing sets of that anymore.
Right.
So, it's kind of, I mean, it's like turning into everything's changing. I'm not sure we like it, but we're playing the game every day.
But the same thing happened in 1989.
Yeah.
The same thing happened in the late 80s. Like, everything was changing. Now suddenly there's a Beckett. Now suddenly there's a thing called PSA.
Yeah.
You know, now a Jose Canseco's going for $100. This is asinine, and, like, you know, like, that pissed a lot of people off too. Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess.
They're probably not around anymore either.
Adapt or die.
Yeah.
Let me kind of check 100%. See what we've got for.
Oh, yeah.
Mahomeboy, what's happening? Just buy and hold Mahomes. Yep.
Pretty much. That'll work.
Buy Zig, and when they're buying Zag. Yes. Sell Zig, and when they're buying Zig. Right? Okay. Is the new tax law really going to affect us on eBay next year? They'll send you a W-2 or W-9.
They should have. You should have. I mean, technically, it should have been done anyways. Like, but now it's just gonna. It's what it is when they say they're gonna report it to the IRS. What that means is eBay's gonna do a big tax dump, information dump. Like they're not singling out each person and saying, this is how much they made. Please check it on the. But they're doing an entire dump, and it used to be $20,000 and 200 transactions, and now it's just $600. Like any other industry should have been doing. I mean, there was people that had to redo their taxes because they paid their babysitter too much, more than $600, and didn't give her a 1099.
Yeah,
that's the type of issues you're going to run into.
Yeah,
but it just means keep your receipts and do everything the right way. You'll be fine. So.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, about that. Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later. Hey, Jason, what's up, man? Do y'all have a website I can order from? No, we don't sell online. We don't really sell.
Not really. Just our eBay store.
Yeah, sorry, Dylan. Just the eBay store. There should be a link to the eBay store in the description. Do you guys do case
deals? Next link down.
Deals. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're always doing deals. Yeah. Pretty much everything. We don't get a lot of cases. We have some retail. I mean, usually when I buy a case, I'm buying it from another dealer, or we get some retail, but not very much, by the case. But I mean, if there's something you're looking for, we can find it. I'm sure.
Most stuff we buy a lot of retail that comes in off the street. A lot of retail wax.
Definitely not by the case.
Yeah, and we don't have direct accounts. We're not, buying a lot of hobby product.
Yeah.
So and anymore, you don't get much of a discount buying a case as opposed to buying by the box, do you?
Not really. Used to, you'd buy 11 boxes and get one for free, and it's just not that way anymore.
No.
It's usually box divided by how many's in there. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. It's just our eBay store. We don't sell anything online right now outside of eBay. It would be complicated to sell online outside of eBay, I feel like.
Yeah, it's tough
for a business.
We're trying to figure it out because we got so many. We got one card, and my strategy is try to put it out there in as many places as possible. But it's hard to keep your inventory straight when you're doing that.
Yeah.
I would love to have it for sale on eBay, on our website, on Facebook, out front in front of the store, all that stuff at shows, all at the same time. But sometimes it's just not feasible. It's just the amount of work involved to get that done.
There's software that will allow you to post it in multiple places online and track your inventory for you. But it's where the in-person stuff is going to throw you. You have to immediately go in there and take it off, manually.
Yeah, and sometimes we're busy enough where we take pictures and do it later, but if it's a hot card, we may sell it in that hour before we get to it. So we try to do the best we can on that stuff, but I mean, we've had a few get misplaced or not misplaced, but sold twice, and you have to deal with it when it happens. So that's why we don't have a website. We just don't have it up right now.
Sometimes we have to. We just don't know where the second one's at.
That's true. Yeah, that's definitely true. May not be the same serial number, but
yeah. Brady is all IPC. Well, he's okay, I guess.
Yeah, Brady sucks. I'd sell them all.
We're in Kansas City, so
we're not very good. We weren't fans before, but now we're really not.
we're pretty touchy about.
Yeah. I understand why you pre-see him, though.
Yeah.
7 rings is 7 rings.
Yeah. He's done well for himself.
Yeah.
I'm sure his parents are proud.
I'm happy for him. He's a proud dad, I hear.
Yeah. But we're all in this together.
Yeah,
we're
right.
All in the card hobby together.
Welcome to the warehouse.
Welcome to the warehouse. Welcome to the warehouse. Patrick Mahomes built this shop. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Loyalty.
I'm just cashing in on my my Eloy Jimenez purchases from when he was hurt, when nobody else was buying them. That's what I'm doing.
Did you set some back?
Yeah, I've got some, nothing really cool, but like I just sold an autograph today that I set back, a rookie autograph, out of Gypsy Queen. I bought it for like $18 and just sold it for $60.
There's a bunch on that shelf back there, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Kyle Lewis, Eloy Jimenez, and Luis Robert.
There's the Eloy Jimenez PSA 10s over there. I wasn't going to sell them for $30.
Right.
So not only that, I just went and bought some base and bought a couple more PSA 10s. I mean, I didn't go out searching for them. When they came my way, I bought them and then put them away.
Yeah.
I wish I'd done more searching out for them, but
I like buying. If I'm going to hold something, I'm going to buy base.
Yeah.
Like you say, if you're not seeking it out and it comes in its right price, like,
yeah,
that's totally.
I know a lot of other people don't have that opportunity, but you kind of do at a show. I mean, you could make it walk past you by going and looking at every card, asking if they got stuff down below, or a lot of times dealers don't want to put out the stuff that's too low.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't.
They'll keep out two things from underneath the table. They either keep out stuff that's really, really hot and they don't want to sell. They just want to have it for their collection, or they'll keep back stuff that's just way too low for. And if you can ask to see either one of those boxes, you'll find stuff that nobody has seen before, even if they're there at 3:00 in the afternoon on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I would always ask, is there anything behind the table? Is there anything that you don't have out for sale? Some people, I usually don't put out stuff because I don't have enough room. I brought too much stuff. That didn't break.
Surely not. Surely not.
Yeah, I guess stacks. Yeah, there's $3 cards in the showcase, but
we had 3 carloads of stuff to the that we took to.
But we came back with 1.5.
That is true.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Shock and all.
Shock and all.
It worked.
Yeah, it did work. Yeah. You know what you're doing. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like any of that stuff, like, if you're, like, going against the grain, like, Eloy Jimenez, I really liked Eloy Jimenez. I just didn't feel like I could afford to buy his stuff and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like buying stuff to hold it.
Mm-hmm.
If I had bought a bunch of his stuff 2 months ago, I'd still have it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have really affected me, especially as cheap as it was. So my mentality's changing, and I'm getting a better grip on, like, I bought some basketball from you, a couple of weeks ago, and it's like, well, by the time I get everything that's backed up, listed, and available for sale, like, it's going to be basketball season anyways.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I might as well just buy it now, put it away. It's not really holding it. It's just in the back of the line.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a better grip on the times that I can buy stuff and not necessarily hold it as an investment, but, feel comfortable about having it until I get around to selling it.
I mean, that's kind of the way I've done it my entire life. It's like, when I went to Biloxi with my wife, we went one night and we went out in sports betting, and I lost my ass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not good at, like, predicting the future of sports just because I've watched sports for 40 years.
Right.
Like, I've lost, I lost a couple $100 on like 6 bets. I'm like, this ain't for me. Like, I'm not even really good long term. Like, I mean, I can pick out some guys here and there, but I'm just as lucky or unlucky as everybody else. Like, I'll pick Vladimir Guerrero one year, but next year it might be Gavin Lux. Like, if you haven't missed, you haven't picked enough.
Yeah.
So what I've decided to do is buy collections, buy all of it.
Yeah.
And then take out enough of the high selling stuff to pay for the collection.
Yeah.
And then when it starts to be work, when you're trying to pull money out of something, it's like when you're trying to squeeze, liquid out of a turnip.
Yeah.
That's when you stop and say, okay, it's time for this to set aside.
Yeah.
And marinate. And then let it just sit there. Yeah. And then go out and find the next deal.
Yeah.
So then you've always got this little stockpile.
Yeah.
Or big stockpile of stuff.
The bank account.
The wall of quarter cards.
That's right.
You've always got that a little bit there, and it makes it something that everybody can do. Like, this isn't what's happening here is not is not rocket science. It's not genius. It's just a strategy that worked, and I just did it over and over and over and over again.
And if you don't think that you can go back to that stuff and pay your bills with it if you have to, you're wrong. Because
we do it every day.
Yeah, and I mean, before, you know, this stuff came around, you know, there could be a, you know, something a lot of people were looking at.
Yeah.
You know, if you're full time in cards, you know, the profit margins weren't real high, and you weren't dealing with a real high volume either.
Yeah.
So
there's all kinds of ways to do it. I mean, this is just the way I've done it. So this is the way I can tell you how I've done it.
It's awesome.
I mean, there's the first video you ever made after meeting me was going through my quarter boxes, you know, and spending $80 and finding it one card that paid for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that can be done throughout every show in all the world.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way if you want to make money.
Yeah.
Or make money so your collection is better.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just keep dumping money into it, you know.
If you're planning on predicting the next Mike Trout or the next, you know, Giannis or Patrick Mahomes, like, I mean, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of luck.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's that good.
Yeah.
Right? There are strategies to, like I was saying, if you're buying the top 10 baseball rookies this year, you know, for quarter 50 cents a piece,
right?
Like, go for it, because one of them gets the $5 you're paying for it. But just predicting the future is not very easy.
We're super jaded in Kansas City on this subject because there's so many people that bought Patrick Mahomes in 17 and just held it because they didn't care.
Yeah.
He was the quarterback of the Chiefs. They were going to want his cards no matter what.
Yeah.
He was a first-round pick of the Chiefs, and they were going to... I mean, we haven't had one since Todd Blackledge. Like, people don't remember how bad it was.
It's amazing. Like, I thought there was a lot more quarterbacks that went in the draft than what there are normally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, especially in the first round. Like, you know, some years, like, there might be 5 quarterbacks to go in the first round. But there's years that there might be 2.
Yeah.
You know? And
in 13, when the Chiefs had the first pick, it was E.J. Manuel, and Geno Smith went in the second round. Like, that was it.
That's right. Yeah.
There was one. I think maybe there's somebody else. No, I think that was it.
Yeah.
So some years, I mean, this year there was 5.
Yeah.
But that's like, we're jaded in the fact that we see so many people that bought and hold those cards and made money. It's like, okay, then, like, which one of these 5 is going to be the next Patrick Mahomes?
None of them.
Which one of the 5 is going to be the next Mitch Trubisky? Probably 4 of them.
5 of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's very possible.
Well, like, you know, you're never going to see another Patrick Mahomes. You might see somebody that has a similar impact. I don't know that for the next 50 years you'll see somebody that has, in the beginning of his career. I'm not saying, you know, that he won't get injured. I'm not saying that 10 years from now Patrick Mahomes won't be out of the league. It's possible. But in the games that he's played, in the beginning of his career, I would say Patrick Mahomes has had more impact on the NFL than probably any other player. Potentially. You know, any other player I've ever seen play.
But he hit at the exact right time for us, for what we do.
Yeah.
Because there's no way... I mean, I'm going through this right now with a card that I just graded for a friend of mine.
Yeah.
There's no way a guy wins an MVP in his second year in the league, and you buy his card for $400, and 3 years later he won a Super Bowl, but it's worth $10,000 or $5,000 or $8,000. Like he hit at the perfect time. Like, there's no way you're going to do that again. It wasn't necessarily even Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He was just the guy at the time when this market boom hit. Like, if you go out and try to buy Trevor Lawrence, like I sold a Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson pen pals this week for $1,000. The Patrick Mahomes, Kareem Hunt version of that card was $25. You know, like that, it's already hit. You know, like the market has hit it.
It's at the top.
Right. Like, I mean, if those two guys go on and become Brady Manning 2.0, I mean, They're both in the AFC. You know, they're both going to probably face each other in the playoffs if they're as good as they're supposed to be. Like,
if they're as good as
those Jets Jaguars AFC championships we're all looking forward
to. Right? Like, if they like,
so what is that card supposed to go to?
Right.
You know, like the Patrick Mahomes version of that card's 2,500.
Yeah.
Like, what is
really
the single pin pals?
Really?
Right. So what is that card supposed to go to? If both of those
$25 is what that card's supposed to go to.
Right. Like, the odds are it's going to be 25 before it's 5,000.
And it's tough because, like, this is something I was talking about earlier today, is that, like, these announcers, the people in football media, they act like every one of these, every Trevor Lawrence that comes through, every Mac Jones, you know, it doesn't matter who it is, Sterling Sharp and Skip Bayless, whoever it is, you know, they act like they are the second coming.
Yeah.
You know, they act like, you know, they've got what it takes. And, you know, yeah, they'll throw some qualifiers in there, like maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But overall, the feeling is that is to get people excited. The intent is to get people excited, to get people
so they can watch the show tomorrow.
Right. To watch the game, watch the show.
Yeah.
And to believe that, you know, you're watching history right now.
Yeah. All those shows are just to build up to the Monday night broadcast.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's like Colts Texans on Monday night, Shannon Sharp or whoever it is on ESPN, Max Kellerman or Stephen A's shouting about how bad Carson Wentz is. Like, he hasn't ever watched Carson Wentz since the Super Bowl.
No.
You know, like it's so obvious what those guys are trying to do.
Yeah.
And that translates somewhat into like cards and people watch that stuff and they make decisions based on what these people are saying.
They do.
And it's not, and you can kind of watch, I always say a person's pretty smart, but people are stupid.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, and when I say stupid, I mean, they're ignorant because they don't have enough information.
Right.
If they had all the information, like, I mean, Jacob Eason, what, you know, don't buy Jacob Eason. Sell every Jacob Eason you own. Sell it. There's a reason they gave up first round picks for Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
They know Jacob Eason's not the answer.
Yeah.
You know? So
maybe it's because they feel like they've already got Jacob Eason.
So they can give away first round picks because they're that good.
They're that good. You know, they just need Carson Wentz. They need Carson Wentz for right now, but they're letting Jacob Eason marinate.
They can't use it as trademarked.
Yeah, right. Marinate, trademarked by the warehouse. I'm a Raiders fan. I want to get to something else that we were talking about. So talking about, I just want to bring this up because I thought it was really cool and I want to bring it to people's attention, but talking about going out, digging through dollar boxes, what got us on this whole thing is you can't predict the future. So making money in cards is about finding cards that are worth more than what you can buy them for and selling them for more than what you pay for them. Right. And so we watched Ryan Johnson's new Card Collector 2's new video tonight on the first day of the Dallas Card Show.
Yeah.
And I think we both agree that is the best video
super refreshing
that we've seen in a long time, if not ever.
Yeah.
Super refreshing. You know, as a deep-seated card guy and as a dealer that's been doing this for 25 years, like, we want to see value added to the hobby. And Ryan does that all the time. But his videos had gotten so stylized and had gone away from, like,
even his personal message.
Even his message, yeah. I think that a lot of that was probably production. It was probably out of his hands, kind of. But
you know more about that than I do,
but I mean, this video definitely did not seem like the same person was shooting it or editing it, or at least not editing it. It might have been the same person shooting it. It wasn't the same person editing it. And every editor, like, if that's what you're doing, you're wanting to show off. Like, the natural... I'm not going to get too far into this because it takes it away, but I just thought it was awesome.
The part where he bought a deal for $10, and then went through and said, hey, you know, this card's $6, this card's $3, this card's $22, this card I paid $5 for this and I can sell it for $15.
Yeah.
And it's like, he spent $10, but there's $70 here.
He got a Mahomes contender rookie.
Yeah, the contenders draft day rookie. Yeah.
Was it $1?
$1.
It was $1.
That whole deal was $10.
Yeah.
And he put 22 on it, but that's, you know, that's probably what the last one sold for. I got him in the showcase for 25 right now.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I'm in Kansas City, but still, it's like that card. You know, a guy from Timbuktu, Oklahoma, doesn't care about that card. You know, you can find that stuff out there.
Yeah.
But that's not. I mean,
he's not getting that deal because he's Ryan Johnson.
No,
he's going through a dollar box that's priced that anybody could walk up to that box.
He did probably 6 figures at the National, and he still. It was refreshing to see him do a video that more people could relate to, that actually had information in it instead. I mean, I would consider this more of a documentary than the other stuff was like TV shows, you know, like primetime television.
Yeah.
Like somebody, you know, we need to get eyeballs on this stuff.
Yeah.
But here's how you really do it.
This is how you do it. But I wouldn't have watched that video because of his past videos.
Yeah.
Like, there's no value in it for me as a card person in watching a TV show about cards.
Yeah.
A reality show about cards. And that's not knocking him at all. Like, I think Ryan brings a ton of value. It's just, I was not watching his videos because they were too stylized and contained too little actual value about the hobby. It was a lot of watching what's going on in the hobby. It was a lot of watching him at a show or him with, you know, YouTube celeb, different Geoff or Sasha or, you know, whoever, like, and that's fine, whatever. Like, that's what gets views, and he has a much bigger platform than we do. That's awesome. Like, we definitely don't have the time to make videos like that, or would be willing to pay the money.
No,
but so that's why, like, I root for Ryan, because I think he is in the perfect place
100%.
to bring value into the hobby, and he knows what he's doing. Like, there are very few dealers on YouTube.
He's one of the YouTube guys that have been doing it for 10 years plus.
Yeah.
Like, that was here when it was bad.
Yeah.
You know, bought the shop that he bought at the right time when he knew it was trending up.
Yeah.
Like, but he was going there anyways. This just shot him to the moon. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But it was refreshing because it was definitely different than his other videos. Like, so, like, he's almost made fun of in his industry for going through dollar boxes. Like, it's a joke to some of the other people.
Because they've never had to make money in this industry.
Never had to make money in a down market.
No, not a single one. Like, 9 out of 10 of them haven't ever experienced a down market. Yeah. You know, and very, very few of them have ever not, like, I don't know that Ryan necessarily had to make money in a down market, but he knows what it takes to do it. Yeah. And that's what it takes. It's not pretty. It's not like glorious.
Or fast.
Or easy.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, it's doing the same thing. It's doing what other people don't want to do and then doing it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, I think you've been kind of sticker shocked when you walked in here, like, this is what we got to do every single day for, you know.
I thought, like, I knew going into it, this is what we would be doing. Like, I thought I was worried that I would get burnt out on it really quickly. And there have definitely been times that I've been burnt out.
Those 16-hour days, the third one kind of gets to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I got a headache from looking at the screen, or like, I just,
how many Justin Herberts does this guy have?
Where I'm at. That's exactly right. Like, yeah. I happen to enjoy like tedious, monotonous things in a way. I enjoy cards, and if you don't, and if you're not willing to put in a lot of hours doing that stuff, then you're not gonna make a living in this.
No,
and
not
really,
unless you have either a lot of luck or a huge bankroll to start from, or something like that. It's something most people don't
really
have.
Both.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could go out and you could buy a table full of slabs.
It's a lot. If you're if you have $100,000, it's a lot easier to make $5,000 a week.
Yeah.
Or $3,000 a week and make a living
Mm-hmm.
than if you have $3,000 and have to double it every week
Yeah.
to pay your bills.
Exactly.
Like that's where the money comes in. I mean, plus you have the ability to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Like you can buy something that goes down. If you're working on a, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 budget, then you don't have room to make mistakes.
Tell me about it, brother.
Rewind to 2005. I understand.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I know you do, and, but I have made the decision. This is what I want to do with my life, and it's been proven to me that if I'm willing to sort cards for 30 hours over 3 days, that, it's probably the place for me to be and be happy about it. So you got to make it work.
Yeah.
So you put in the hours and you do the things you got to do to make it work.
But that's what this video showed that a lot of the other ones in the past haven't. Like his series of opening a card shop. Like, I mean, I know it's boring to explain his past in every one of his videos.
Yeah.
But you can't just throw open a card shop and make it look really nice and put a 60-inch TV up with a bunch of wax and make it successful. I mean, it just doesn't work like that. Like, once that wax is gone, if you don't have something to place behind it the next time, they're not coming back. The easiest thing to do is throw up a nice bunch of pictures and get photos taken and get shelves stocked and take pictures and get somebody in the first time. The hard part is making them come back the second time.
Yeah. Because
that's where, that's where you have to have value. You have to show them value when they come in. Like, there's shops, and I'm not picking on anybody, but if you have 8 boxes of wax and 4 boxes of dollar cards to go through, why would they come back?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can make it right now. In the past, you could have made it work. That's why there's 18 of them in Kansas City.
Yeah.
You could make it work.
Yeah.
In the past, when everything you bought went up and everything, but now, I mean, not everything you buy goes up. Like,
you're gonna take some L's.
There's going to be a lot of L's in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So
maybe not you, but
I'll take a lot of L's.
People, me too. Me too. Not gonna lie, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Just gotta make sure the W's are bigger than the L's are.
Are you guys grading with any other grading companies while you wait for PSA to open up? Yeah, definitely.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
SGC
in the house. We got a SGC order in right now.
It's gonna be super cool.
It's gonna be really cool. Bunch of vintage stuff.
We got a regrade in there.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll probably, it may be the next podcast, it may be the next video, whatever.
I hope so. I noticed, I kind of said something about it today, but I was looking on different submissions I sent in because I had started a submission twice over the last couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. So in 10 days, they'd only taken in 5,000 orders.
Okay.
And that's not even what they'd taken in. That's how many order spots had been. Like, as soon as you start to fill out a submission,
an invoice number.
It starts an invoice number. So that's not, that's about what they do. Normally, like, when I sent in before the national, it was like 14,000 in 2 weeks or something like that. And it took a couple weeks. So I'm hoping it comes back soon. And we'll definitely get a video about that.
Check the chat. Stop. Oh man, that's just because you're not here, Lightseek. We want to stare into your eyes.
That's right.
I have no idea who that is.
I don't either. But thanks for being here.
Yeah. HGA. I don't think we've ever done HGA. We tried once and it didn't. No. He got in and it didn't work out, but
yeah, I got mad because I got in and then they wouldn't, like, I went to change something in my order and then submitted it, and it was like there was no spots left, there was no cards left, and I was like, what? I got in. And I emailed them, and they're like, no, doesn't matter. It's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Now they're begging people.
Yeah, now they're begging people. All we've done with HGA is make fun of their YouTube video. That's all we've done. And it was bad, and I cannot believe they left that up.
It's still up. It's still
so bad.
It's still up.
If you all have not seen HGA's, like, tour video, go watch it because it's terrible.
It's funny.
Like it's it's comedy bad.
Yeah.
Like they show, I just can't get over that. They show the executive offices, like this is where the executives are. And there's nobody. It's empty. It's
like
empty.
It would be like if they stuck the executive in there and he's sitting there waving like this.
Yeah,
it would be a parody. It would be a joke.
Even if you just they should have made it a parody. Yeah,
like that would have been much better.
Well, like you don't like those are okay. The CEO is the face of business. He has a great introduction in that video. It's a great introduction to the video. And so much so that it throws people off because we'll tell people, like, you gotta watch this. Like, this is terrible.
We've done it
it's
several
times.
times.
It's so bad, it's awesome. Like, but they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, like, in the first part, because he is really good.
Yeah.
But then, like, okay, he's the face of the company. You don't even show your, like, other executive people, like, the two other people that are supposed to be sitting in those seats. Like, you could have just pulled somebody out of the factory and stuck them over there and, you know, but then
it's like you can tell how fast they expanded.
Yeah.
By where, like, they show pictures of people sitting in desks, and all they've done is put 6-foot plastic tables around.
Yeah.
In a strip mall that was empty because you can see the front window. It's like literally a strip mall. Like,
yeah, they
just expanded so quickly. They, you know, and now I mean, I've read that they're laying off people.
I bet.
Yeah, because it's the volume that they were doing has gone down because of lots of reasons, you know.
Yeah,
but
that video is the biggest one though. Like, it's got to be like that's just not a good look.
Well, it's also there's such a thin line between okay, these people are sending their cards to you, but they're not necessarily respecting you.
Yeah, like
they're sending. Like, people send cards to PSA because they want to know the grade of their card. They want to send it to HGA to add value to their card.
And HGA is the toughest grade.
So when you send every single back 9s, you know, like they're like, I didn't pay you to grade my card a 9. Yeah. I graded you to pay my card at least a 9.5 and maybe a 10.
Yeah,
like yours. The new companies are like little brothers, where PSA is the big brother telling you what your card is, and now it's. I want my value for you charge me $35 to tell me this card's a 9 when I know it's a 9.5, you know, like like you have to, like, SGC's still going through it and they've been around 30 years.
Yeah.
Like they're earning people's respect on their consistency of the grading.
Why would okay, if I'm a collector, I understand. If I want that card for my PC and I can get all that artwork, it's beautiful. They're awesome. And I will not argue that. And in that case, if you like their designs and stuff, definitely you should go with them. I would.
Yeah.
But for like turning a profit,
yeah,
SGC's heads and shoulders above HGA. You know, you got about the same resale on stuff, but you get it back. It's $35, but you get it back from SGC in 2 weeks to a month versus 2 months to 3 months with HGA. Why would I
sold a Joe Burrow RPA out of Absolute HGA 9 for the price of a raw, just because I'm like, this adds no value to the card.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no comps on it. Yeah, you know, there's no other. It doesn't have a history. Yeah, I'm sure it's a pop 1, but who cares? You know,
nobody should care.
Yeah, right. That's because nobody's gonna send that card to HGA.
Right.
Like, it doesn't add any value to me at this point. So
it only does to the collector, and if there's enough of them out there, then they're not going to command a premium. If there's enough of them out there, unless it's like, you know, that Pat Tillman downtown or whatever, where it has like a super cool label and stuff like that.
It's gimmicky.
Yeah,
HGA is gimmicky compared to who cares? Like, if you care what the number of the grade is, don't send it to HGA.
Yeah,
if you want to display your card that you're going to have in your showcase for the next 10 years, then send it to HGA.
Yeah.
But it's gimmicky.
It's niche. Like, it doesn't look bad.
No.
It's not gimmicky in that way.
No, it's gimmicky in the fact that that's their gimmick. That the label is their gimmick, not how well they grade. Yeah.
I'm confusing gimmicky with tacky.
No. That's their gimmick.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you're right. It is. Definitely. If I had a PC card that I wanted sent in, or I wanted to display, I would send it.
It's just a really nice holder.
It's a really nice holder.
I mean, with the label and everything, but it's not. You're paying to display your card. You're not paying to add value to it, which is why you send it to PSA.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
That's why we don't use SGA.
I just like SGC because they come back so quickly. Takes a little more research to figure out what cards are going to sell well with SGC, because there are a lot of cards, especially modern cards, that you're not going to get your money back out of them, even if they grade well. But I'm willing to do that research, and so as long as when I can get them back that fast, I'm more than happy with that.
Right.
Yeah. It's nuts seeing people chasing Mac Jones card now, and most of it is all in college uni stuff. Yeah. I'm not mad they let Cam go. I'm surprised. Like, you're taking a big chance on Mac Jones.
Well, I think it's Bill Belichick. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But I think it's also Bill Belichick saying, I mean, it's happened before. Like, okay, we've decided out of these two quarterbacks, we're going with Mac Jones.
Yeah.
You can't have Cam Newton on the sideline.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, if he throws 2 interceptions in a game, it's like, why isn't Cam playing? The rest of this roster can win. You know what I mean? So you get rid of that headache before it happens. I mean, that's classic Bill Belichick.
I don't think it's a good move, though. Like, it's a lot of risk.
The best move was to play Cam Newton until he failed and then cut him.
Yeah.
I mean, the most safe move.
Yes.
But, I mean, Bill Belichick knows what he's doing, I think.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows more than I do. You wouldn't think so, but I bet he does.
Maybe. I mean, Mac Jones has got a lot of moxie to him. Yeah. He could fail and still be like, throw the next one into double coverage and think it's going to be caught. Yeah. He did it in Alabama a lot. So, I don't know. I mean, it was definitely shocking. I mean, I assumed. I mean, is it like four of the 5 quarterbacks are going to start now out of the first round?
Wilson,
everybody but Lance,
Mac
right?
Jones,
Fields.
Justin Fields is starting.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe
if he
Dalton
is. I didn't think he was, but I don't.
Gosh, he played really well.
They had Andy Dalton starting.
I
don't know where that stands. Actually, I can look it up. And just for you all, I have fixed my display mode thing, so I'll go ahead and look it up. Justin Fields. So we can all see it. How about that? Bears, Andy Dalton not looking over his shoulder at Justin Fields.
He should be.
Yeah, I mean.
He may not be looking, but he knows he's there.
Yeah. That's just really weird. Justin Fields, Jim McMahon. Best starting QB, current starting QB options for the Bears: Justin Fields, Jim McMahon, Mike Tomczak. Jim McMahon's sweatshirt with Mike Tomczak on it. Andy Dalton.
I think that's them voting for Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I liked it when Andy Dalton booed. They booed him out of the stadium, and then he throws an 80-yard touchdown. Dalton just walks off.
How about Javi Baez?
How about
Javi Baez?
Jeez Louise. That guy's not re-signing in New York. That guy can't handle New York, man.
What a bunch of hype monsters, though.
Yeah.
To boo somebody for going out there and trying to make your team better. Andy Dalton doesn't have a choice on whether he's a starting quarterback. What do you want him to go out there and do bad so that the coach doesn't start him?
Yeah, or quit so Fields has to play. Or
they're making they're making known what they want the decision to be.
Yeah. But
who wants a football team by democracy? How is that gonna go?
No.
We're gonna play all the people that the fans like.
Yeah. That hasn't worked very often.
I wouldn't think it would. I mean,
Patrick Mahomes didn't play.
No.
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 So
But, you know, they sell beer at football stadiums, so who knows what happened. I am moving out of a lot more speculative stuff and keeping Hall of Fame GOATs and a small percentage of rising stars. I like that. I always like that. I think if you're going to hold on to stuff, it should be people that have mostly, you know, 80%, 50 to 80%, people that have proven themselves, that they're Hall of Famers or, you know.
Yeah, but that, I mean, I like the idea. The speculative stuff is definitely like more day trader stuff. Like if you don't have time for it, or you don't have, you know, if you don't have the time to sell one that gets hot, you know, keep, you know. But I buy collections every day that people kept their, you know, their Carson Palmer rookies because he was really good at the time or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you still got to have if you don't have the time to do the speculative stuff, still make the time about once every 6 months to go through those goats.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're not goats anymore.
Yeah.
So
it's
especially the rising stars even.
I mean, yeah, it depends on your timeline. Like if you're planning on keeping stuff for 20 years, like you can pick up Hall of Famers. I mean, is a Christian Yelich going to be worth more than, if Christian Yelich was to make the Hall of Fame, would he be worth more than Ted Simmons? The print run on Christian Yelich is probably a lot higher.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
it's hard to say.
Yeah. Ted Simmons doesn't go for just.
I won't be here in 20 years to ask me, so.
Ridiculous money. Oh, you'll be here. You'll be here.
No, I won't be here.
Well, no. You'll have made
many decisions that worked out not well.
You're going to be sipping a Mai Tai on the beach.
Yeah, once a week. Or 1 week every year.
1 week a year. Let's see.
PSA had a gimmick when they first started upgrading baseball cards. Yeah.
True. That's true.
Yeah, that's a gimmick, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, HGA could grow into a company that's highly respected. It has a, you know.
Mr. Trubisky still has a shot.
That's right.
He's in the league.
He's in the league. I mean, but also, like, PSA had a gimmick, and so did, like, 10 other companies in the year 2000. And 20 years later,
I'm not saying this stuff isn't going to change. Like before, several years ago, Beckett 9.5 sold for more than PSA 10s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's secular, but HGA got too big too fast.
Yeah.
And then when they kept trying to grow, now they're not maxing out where they were before.
Yeah.
And then they've had some stuff, you know, like grading some cards that shouldn't have been graded and stuff like that. You guys can Google that yourselves. So they've had issues, and it's more about trying to get too big too fast and hiring people that either haven't been in cards or just, you know, not hiring more graders or anything like that, just hiring people that shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. And
they tried to train them too fast because they were trying to grow too fast. And I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to lay people off.
Growing pains.
Well, yeah, sometimes they're pains, sometimes they kill you.
The main takeaway from this is that you should go watch the HGA company video, because if they're not going to
do it about 3:00 in the morning, it'd be really fun.
Yeah, if they're going to leave it up on YouTube, I will promote it.
Yeah,
I will promote
when
it.
The CEO has to come out and apologize several days later.
Yeah,
you know it's good.
Yeah,
you know it's good.
Why did they not take that down?
Oh, it's for once you put it on the internet, it's forever, man.
It's beautiful.
It's so great.
It's a beautiful thing. It's like it's a butterfly.
We need to link it. It's.
I can link it. I'll link it. Yeah.
It's the one with Lamar Jackson on the front.
HGA tour. Let's see here.
There it is, the top one.
HGA.
How many views?
6,000.
Oh shoot!
Maybe
5,000 of them came from our warehouse.
This might be a new one.
No.
How have only 6,000 people watched this? How is this not a bigger story?
I don't know.
This video is horrible.
Go to Twitter. He apologized.
I know. This video is so bad.
He knows it.
I know he knows it. And I kind of feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, it's like bad enough to promote.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna leave it up, then we all need to get some enjoyment from it at least. Everybody makes mistakes, but it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. So go watch it.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
HG9. I call HGA HG9.
That's pretty good.
Junk slab era. Yep. Yeah.
I mean, they got almost as many cards, backlogged that they're trying to push out immediately than they had graded in the previous 10 years.
Yep.
So they're gonna. I mean, it's always been that way though. Like, there was a lot of times you could buy slabs for less than the cost of the grading, and I've said that several times. Like, I wish I could just get my grading fees back on this, and but it's gonna be like that a lot. So
there was a ton of stuff out there before this ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like the liquidity is gonna be the problem. Like most of those cards are always gonna sell for $10.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But there might be a lot of them sitting on eBay for a long time.
Right.
To sell for $10.
Right.
If there's 1,000 of them listed, and there's 20 of them that have sold in the last 3 months, that's not great.
Yeah, it's not a comp if you put in 87 Donruss or 87 Topps Jose Canseco and somebody bought one for $4.99.
Yeah.
That's not a comp because there's 1,000 listed and there's 3 sold.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's probably a lot of what we're going to see. The same thing, like junk slab era. I think that's a good way to maybe define that, is that, yeah, if you go on and you look up 1989 King Griffey Jr., you look up whatever.
Oh, the whoever's good out of the 2020 class in football is going to be the 1991, or 1989 Pro Set Barry Sanders rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, that card's $10.
Unless you can get it in a PSA 10.
Unless it's a PSA 10.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, the 89 Pro Set, maybe not impossible, but
89 Topps.
The 90 and 91 Pro Set, that stuff was pure garbage. Like, it's like they almost painted it in flakes.
It was
because that's the...
They used recyclable paint or lead paint or
something. Like, it's like it's coming off whether you like it or not.
Yeah. But if Justin Herbert wins 2 Super Bowls, his select rookie's still going to be $4.
If Justin Herbert is Patrick Mahomes select SRC is $8,000 and a 9.5, isn't it? Or $12,000 and a 10, something like that. If Justin Herbert ended up with the same start to his career as Patrick Mahomes, and the market was the same place it's at right now, not as select XRC, but let's say select silver, it's like it's been devalued so much,
Yeah, card. I think it's card number 103 of Patrick Mahomes rookie. Like, I bought and sold that card several times at $900 as a PSA 9. There's no world where we live where a Justin Herbert select PSA 9 is even half of that.
No.
If he could win 7 Super Bowls,
yeah,
and it's not half of that.
No,
there's just too many of them.
There's too many.
There's 4 levels, first of all, instead of 3.
Yeah.
So and then they, on top of that, they printed more, like 10 times as much of that product, like literally maybe 20 or 30 times.
Probably 20 or 30 times.
Yeah,
they didn't print as much. They didn't print any select.
Right.
They didn't used to print any when it was just hobby.
Yeah.
Like, you're looking at pop counts of like 2,000.
Yeah, for entire grade. For
2017 basketball, the pop counts are like 2,000-3,000. Like, Yeah, I bet
that might be the pop counts for 2020 football, was because nobody wants to grade that stuff.
Nobody's gonna grade it. No, you can't grade a $5 card for $300.
Yeah,
You know?
even when it comes back.
Yeah, there won't. I mean, I'm sure there'll be people grading base of that stuff.
About 2,000 of them.
Yeah, maybe 200 of them.
Yeah, right.
You know? The silvers will get graded, maybe.
It's a $75 card at the.
Yeah, if they drop down to a $50 submission, maybe somebody will get 10 of them in before they close it down again.
It'll take a year to get it back.
It'll take a year to get it back. Yeah.
And that's if he wins 2 Super Bowls.
That's if he wins 2 Super Bowls. They'll be open for 2 weeks and then shut down for another year. The PSA is like deer hunting season. Like, they're open 2 weeks a year. Oh gosh, they've got to figure something out. They can't do that. They're not going to keep brand recognition.
I think they're trying to scale. I mean, from what I've heard, is they're trying to scale their business to meet the need. They're not just assuming.
Yeah.
I mean, they are going up. They are grading more cards now this week than they did last week. I mean, on average.
Yeah.
They're grading twice as many cards now as they did a year ago.
They're saying their economy submissions are done. Like, they're completed with their economy submissions.
They must have just tackled that first or something.
But their collector's club is still August of 2020. Or something like that. Something crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Like, their collector's club, the people that actually bought subscriptions to their magazine and everything. Like, that's not what they tackled first.
No.
The economy submissions. You know, the people that had vouchers.
Yeah.
They're still, like, let's look it up. Because it's garbage. Like, you talk about stupid. Like,
what, the complete through dates you're talking about?
Well, yeah, and just how they're structured. Like, PSA is a terrible company to the people that have supported them over the years. I think one of the funniest things was on Twitter. Nat Turner came out after the Fanatics purchase and talked about how this is great for the hobby because Topps and Panini have just been resting on their laurels and providing terrible customer service for, so many years. It's like, that's laughable. Like, like
pot meat kettle.
I don't remember where I saw that. I saw that somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it was somebody came in here or if it was a. Oh no, like it's a real thing. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, that's pot. Yeah, pot meat kettle, exactly. Yeah. But like, yeah, I'm just like, PSA's a great company. They've done they're a great company. Like, they've done a great job for the hobby for a long time. But like, more and more, everything I see when it comes to customer service is there's absolutely no loyalty to the people that have built that company, which is not the people sitting behind the desks.
Yeah.
Like, it's these people sending cards in when nobody wanted graded cards. Let's see here. Freeholder, $25.
Yeah, a year later.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't upcharge that card.
Do they even give you dates for Express and stuff anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just complete through.
Complete through. Express is 99% of July. Regular. Okay, so $200 is 2 months. Yeah. 2 to 3 months. Economy, 100% complete. Collector's Club vouchers. Okay, they are through July 2021. Okay, well, that's better. Right?
I think that's... Yeah.
It says 7/1. Wait, complete through date. Yeah, 7/1/2021. Okay, value. Okay, these are the value. Quarterly specials, September 2020. Right? So you have to be a member to be able to access the quarterly specials.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, from what I've noticed watching this,
yeah,
the complete through, if they're complete with economy,
yeah,
and now they're through July on the collector, they're just tackling that. I mean, you can't be July of one and then the value ultra modern be November of the next one.
Wait. How are their collectors club vouchers being submitted in July of of 2021.
Maybe that's why they're totally caught up.
Well, like they're 38%. Like they're caught up.
That's why they're caught up
first.
Yeah, that's why they're caught up, is because they shut it down.
Yeah.
But you could buy collector club memberships in July of last year that last a year.
Yeah.
And then send those in now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You're right.
That's why
You're
think.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, because I still have one outstanding.
You do?
Yeah, because they upcharged me. It was that Mbappe.
Yeah.
And they said this can't be used for a voucher because it's worth too much, so they upcharged me, so I got my voucher back.
Well, cool.
But now I can't send anything in. So.
Well, if you do though, it's probably going to come back fairly quick.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So they get a pass on the vouchers, but also not because they quit giving out new vouchers 6-8 months ago.
I don't remember how long ago it was, but yeah, it was a while.
So
97% of November is caught up. 99% of October.
All the value stuff.
I mean, October, like, quarterly specials, 99% of September. Like, when did they shut that down? It's like, they're 3 months away from quarterly. They're not going to open that back up when they get 100% of it done. They'll probably never even have quarterly specials again.
That's a good point. They probably shut it down in September. Like, they're probably done with quarterly specials.
I don't remember.
I
remember the last quarterly special that I did was the Jordans in July, but they had one after that. It was like Trout and Griffey.
Yeah.
So it was probably like the end of October.
Yeah.
Is when they shut them down.
December.
The quarterly.
Yeah.
So it would have been the end of September, right? October, November, December. Maybe they had one then. I don't know.
Maybe it was the end of...
It would have been the end of September or the end of December. Would have been the quarters.
Well, if the Jordan was in July, it'd be July, August, September, and then October.
It was June.
December.
I had to send them in June, like by the end of June.
Yeah, so October.
Yeah,
so
the next one there was a Griffey Trout one.
Yeah,
and then there was like 80s, like any card in the 80s for $8.88 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was the end of September. They may have shut it down after that. I don't know.
Economy was the $20 option, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Or the $10. Value was you sent in like 100 cards or more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 20 cards or more.
It was 50.
So
we had to send in 50.
So the reason they're done with economy, because nobody was sending in economy unless it was value, probably.
Yeah, that was like... I mean, the reason those bulks are there is because people would send into a group sub to get the cheaper price.
Well, that's what I've got to
be very many economies there.
Well, what's weird to me, I've got a regular out there that I sent through a group sub that got sent off in January, and I still haven't heard anything about it. And like, I know it takes a while. Like that timer doesn't start until it gets entered in the system, but I know it was entered in February or March.
It takes 3 months,
yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah.
But it says it's done.
Yeah, it says it's 71% of May. So maybe I'll be getting a text here for too long. Yeah. So, I mean, they kind of get a pass because I guess they're pretty much done. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not happy about the whole thing just because of, like, they should have shut it down a long time ago.
I mean, it's a big decision to stop taking orders. That's a huge decision. Like, I can't... Like my business would be more streamlined and more perfect if I said I'm shutting the doors for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But how big a decision is that?
Well, it's a big decision, but...
I think they got swamped.
Yeah.
First of all, nobody recognized all this was coming. Like, nobody recognized the boom. And that right there tells me that they weren't prepared for the level of success that group subs were going to have.
Yeah, I believe that.
Because their value, their economy, their own economy is done. People that send in 10 cards by themselves is over.
I will say, yes, they took in millions of cards, but they took them in at $10 a piece for a long time. $10-$20.
They're still grading cards that were $8.88. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Potato.
I'm not giving them a pass.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, from running a business, it's a huge decision to stop taking income.
It is. It sounds like a pass to me. But anyways, no, you're right. You're right. It is a big decision. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on them.
No, you can be hard on them.
You know,
if it's costing you money, I'd be hard on them.
They cost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're getting 75% of our return because they can't do their job.
Well, because they didn't. They didn't raise prices. Maybe. I don't know. Like, well, I don't know that I'll ever use them again. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, even if they drop down to $50, but it takes 6 months to get it, it's still worth me using SGC. Yeah. It's still better. It's like multiple times better.
Yeah.
You know, even if I'm only getting 75%.
Yep.
Way better.
100%.
So, yeah, unless it's a card that I'm sure I'll use them for like stuff that's $500 and over. Yeah. It's got a chance at a 10. I'm sure I'll send it to PSA, but that's probably it. They're not going to go below. Like, if they go below $100 a card, they're going to shut down again.
They have to, yeah. But the problem is with PSA, now that's an option. Like,
yeah,
Pandora's box has been opened. Like, when we screw up, we'll just shut down again.
Yep.
You know?
So they could open at $30 a card and then take everybody's business until they were completely full.
Make them start over again.
So they could upscale their company to, let's say they went from 1,000 to 5,000 graders,
and
then open at $30 a card, take everyone's business until they had a year's worth of work, and then shut down again. You're not wrong. You know, I mean,
they control the market 100% of the time.
They do
right now.
Everybody. I mean, if they went down to 30, even at 30, there's no price that compares to
getting it back in 2 weeks.
There's no price. No. Even if it's 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, even if it was 6 months, there's no price where it makes sense. You know, if you're talking about, I'm getting, in 6 months, I'm going to get 8 SGC submissions back or 1 PSA submission. There's no price where it makes sense. Not to me.
I'm not smart enough to figure out who's going to be hot in a year.
Unless it's like, I mean, there is a price that makes sense. It's $10.
Yeah.
You know, it's where I can send in my Ray Allen base tops rookies.
Yeah.
And if they get a 10, you know, it's $100 or $150. And if they get a 9, it's 40.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have to pay until they're done.
Yeah.
That's the price that makes sense.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
2000. It's so 2017.
I really want to get my Ray Allen rookies graded. I really do, but I can't afford it right now. Got to make money.
Yeah.
Got to make money. Say I can't afford
It'd be cheaper to buy them graded than wait.
They're so cheap right now.
Yeah.
All that stuff. The 90s stuff is so cheap right now.
Yeah.
Like,
compared to where it was.
I think it's starting to trend up a little bit, but like, when you can buy Allen Iverson, those aren't extremely high print run cards. Like, they're not even really high. They're like 1,500, pop 1,500, something like that. But a base tops Allen Iverson rookie PSA 9 for $50. Like, that's what they got down to. I don't know if they're still at that, but for $50,
it just hurts my head because there's probably some sitting in my dollar box.
Well, we'll find out. I mean, raw, they're $20.
Yeah.
But I mean, they also had like
20. There was a bunch sitting in my dollar box for years.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's where I come from. Like,
yeah,
we're not that far from those, you know, the demand for that stuff to be. I mean, I saw this thing on Facebook. 1980 is 2021 is as close to 1980 as 1980 is to 1939.
You're not joking.
So
I think about that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I say I remember, it's because I remember, but like, they said that in 1980 about Gaudi cards.
Yeah.
You know?
Like 19. So, yeah, I think about that all the time. Like, I was 7 years old in 1990, which was 31 years ago. You know, so for me, 1990, comparatively, is my parents' 1959.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I still buy more 1990 cards than I do any year but 2021.
To a 7-year-old, 1990 comparatively is 1959. What 1959
to you?
Ancient.
Yeah.
Freaking ancient.
Yeah.
I mean, they just got color TVs.
Yeah.
They were still wearing those poodle skirts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Elvis.
They had really good music, though.
They had really good music. I mean, kind of. Yeah.
It was really good music.
It was good.
Go listen to Temptation. That was good music.
That's true. That was good music.
Yeah.
Very good.
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly. All right, I think we've pretty much.
Yep, I think we've done
it.
Has everybody left? Is that the goal? Everybody leave?
Out. Yeah, once everyone leaves,
that's
then
everybody.
We're
the last two to leave.
Then we can stop. There's still people.
Oh, you guys!
There's 9 people. Guys, you are the best.
Nobody follow. Yeah. Nobody share. No.
Don't subscribe.
Do not subscribe to this. Please do not.
Don't click the bell. Don't click the bell. It's only going to annoy you. They're going to send stuff to your phone.
Yeah. We do this like once a week. So you don't want to.
Yeah, once a week at 9 o'clock, too. So make sure you've got stuff to do at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock on Tuesdays, usually.
Yeah. We don't want to interrupt.
That's when you want to schedule your dog's nail trimmings. And
we've got better things to do on Thursday through Monday, like watch football right now.
Do not follow. Yeah. We want to ruin 9 other people's lives.
That's right. That's right.
All right. I think we're done.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Have a great night.